Fred Donner emphasizes the necessity to challenge the conventional narrative surrounding the origins of Islam. Once widely accepted, this narrative is now regarded with skepticism. Re-evaluating these historical perspectives is crucial for a more nuanced understanding of Islamic history. The presentation delves into Muhammad's early life in Mecca, a city steeped in polytheistic culture. This environment significantly influenced his later teachings, offering essential context for understanding the foundational principles of Islam. Additionally, the lecture highlights how Muhammad received divine revelations and how his followers began documenting these teachings. This transition from oral traditions to written texts is critical for grasping the evolution of Islamic doctrine. Central to Islam is the concept of prophethood, with Muhammad recognized as the chosen messenger of God. This underscores the importance of divine revelations throughout Islamic history and their role in shaping faith. The theme of the Last Judgment plays a significant role in the Quran, indicating each individual will be accountable for their actions. This belief serves as a foundational moral framework for believers, reinforcing ethical conduct. Muhammad's migration with his followers to Yathrib, later known as Medina, marks the inception of the first self-governing Muslim community. This pivotal event is foundational not just to the Muslim calendar, but also to the principles of Islamic governance. Abu Bakr, Muhammad's first successor, played a pivotal role in organizing early Islamic armies, resulting in noteworthy territorial expansions shortly after the Prophet's passing. His leadership was instrumental in shaping the early Islamic state. Historians have extensively debated the rapid nature of Islamic expansion, particularly given the initial scarcity of resources and the absence of conventional state governance in Medina. This phenomenon invites deeper inquiry into the factors that facilitated such growth. Traditional narratives surrounding Islamic conquests often rely on later sources, leading to skepticism regarding their accuracy. This skepticism compels a re-evaluation of the actual events that transpired during this period. Understanding the historical context of Muhammad's life and subsequent events, particularly the rise and fall of dynasties, is vital for comprehending Islamic origins. Key milestones occurred between Muhammad's death and the establishment of the Abbasid dynasty. Interpreting Quranic texts presents challenges due to the limited historical details they provide. The Quran emphasizes moral lessons over specific historical events, complicating its role as a purely historical document. Western scholars often encounter difficulties grasping the origins of the Quran, leading to various theories regarding its historical context and formation. The timeline for when this text crystallized remains a topic of ongoing debate among historians. The Quran frequently emphasizes believers rather than specifically using the term Muslims, suggesting a broader religious identity. This points to the fluidity of early religious identities and the importance of communal aspects within the faith. Historical evidence indicates that early believers included Jews and Christians, nurturing a diverse monotheistic community. This suggests that early Islamic movements were characterized by shared beliefs rather than rigid doctrinal boundaries. Inscriptions from the 7th century reveal that leaders identified themselves as commanders of the believers. This self-identification reflects a commitment to a broader community rather than adhering to a singular religious label. Documents from the same century indicate the use of a unique dating system by Muslims, showcasing their self-identity as believers. This reflects their connection to a larger religious tradition and its historical continuity. The Constitution of Medina exemplifies the early integration of Jewish clans into the Muslim community, affirming their significant role within the Ummah. This partnership illustrates the diverse fabric of early Islamic society. Evidence from Christian texts reveals instances of cooperation between early Muslims and Christians, highlighting a complex relationship. This suggests a shared history marked by cultural and social interactions during the 7th century. The Dome of the Rock, constructed by Caliph Abdul Malik around 692, features mosaics that emphasize Islamic beliefs while distinguishing them from Christian concepts. This architectural endeavor signifies a notable cultural shift during the period. The study of Arabic papyri from the 7th century holds critical importance for historians, offering rare documentary evidence of early Islamic history. The scarcity of such documents underscores the value of ongoing research in this field. Recently, the introduction of a unified cataloging system for papyrus collections in Berlin has opened new avenues for scholars. This development facilitates enhanced access to historical materials that were previously challenging to study. Exploring the nature of Islamic monotheism reveals a non-confessional stance, despite a strong belief in one God. This invites inquiries into its implications for broader religious beliefs and practices. The detective-like approach to academic research in historical texts showcases the excitement and challenges faced by scholars in their quest to uncover ancient documents. This process is as rigorous as it is rewarding. The varying reactions of Muslims to new interpretations of Islamic origins are examined, highlighting the tension between conservative and moderate perspectives across different regions. This dynamic shapes contemporary discourse. In the 9th century, Muslim scholars acknowledged the challenge of fabricated hadith and actively sought methods to screen out false transmissions through meticulous analysis of authority chains. This effort reveals a keen historical awareness of authenticity concerns. The methodology employed by hadith scholars involves scrutinizing chains of authority. However, even some hadith recognized as sound may actually be fabricated. This casts doubt on the overall effectiveness of past validation methods. Modern scholars continue to refine methods for analyzing hadith, incorporating examinations of both authority chains and the texts themselves. This ongoing research aims to unveil the historical context and authenticity of these sayings. The concept of jizya, a tax levied on non-Muslims, underscores the practical implications of distinguishing between religious communities in early Islamic society. This tax was specifically applied to Jews and Christians. As the Islamic Empire expanded, the identity among Arabian believers evolved, resulting in a clearer distinction between those considered Muslims and those of other faiths. This transformation reflects the broader socio-political landscape. The socio-political context surrounding the emergence of Islam significantly influenced the community's acceptance of various beliefs. This dynamic facilitated complex interactions among different tribes and cultures. The conversation addresses how different religious groups perceived one another throughout history, fostering awareness of differences in beliefs and practices. This dynamic has historically shaped societal structures. The pivotal role of scholars in Islamic studies and theology is explored, emphasizing their importance in educating future religious leaders within the context of contemporary Germany. Their contributions are vital for ongoing discourse. Sufism emerges as a spiritual approach within Islam that contrasts with more legalistic interpretations, representing a divergence in how believers engage with their faith. This highlights the diversity within Islamic practice. The legal stance on Sufism within Islamic jurisprudence illustrates a strict interpretation that often excludes it as a legitimate practice. This exclusion reflects broader debates and tensions within Islamic thought. The distinction between historical and mythological portrayals of Muhammad reveals the inherent challenges in aligning religious narratives with historical evidence. This juxtaposition necessitates a critical examination of religious texts. The existence of early non-Muslim references to Muhammad suggests that historical truths may coexist with mythic narratives. Such evidence complicates our understanding of Muhammad's life and his lasting impact.